Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. This is Nader Fatih with Environmental Reports. Thank you so much for joining our webinar this morning. We're waiting for a few more people to join, and then we will get started. We have a very exciting topic to discuss today for you, and again, I appreciate everybody's time. Again, let's wait a few minutes. I'm going to point at the call in case you guys are not using a computer voice over IP. You can always use your phone and call the number which is listed here, the 415 area code, and then you will have your own access code that you can use, which was emailed to you. Again, let's wait a few minutes and then we can get started. Thank you. All right, very good again. For those of you who just joined us, we are waiting another minute. I know there are others who are trying to log in and download GoToWebinar. So let's give them another minute here and then we will get started. Again, we thank you for your time today. Excellent. Well, welcome and again, good morning and good afternoon. This is Nader Fatih with Environmental Report. I want to again thank all of you for joining us today. We have a very timely and exciting topic to discuss with you today. And the topic of our webinar today is what every environmental client and consultant should know about electronic data collection and reporting. Little bit on the webinar, you're all on mute. We will really appreciate it if you use the right-hand side of your GoToWebinar and send in your questions. We have already received some questions that we will discuss at the end. But again, if you have any questions, please type it in and we will make sure we respond to those. The presentation is roughly about 45 minutes. We will have, again, at the end, Q&A session to go over. If for some reason you have some issues with either the video or audio, the technical support number 732-418-9500 is on the bottom. You can call that number. That will connect you to our headquarters in New Jersey, and hopefully they can help you with any issues you may have with the webinar. Let me introduce our speakers today. I'm going to start with Scott Gill. Scott Gill is our product specialist. Scott is based in our New York office, and I'm Nader Fatih. I'm the sales executive. I am based in Silicon Valley in California, and again, we are glad to have you here. Let's look at the agenda that we have laid out for you today. So we will give you a brief environment overview of our company, Environmental Reports. And then we have been in business combined over 30 years working with companies such as yours. So we want to talk a little bit about what we hear and what we know and what our customers are telling us about their business challenges. And then we will talk about our electronic data collection solution. Again, EDC is electronic data collection. We will talk about that. Scott will give you a demonstration of our solution at Environmental Reports, how it works, what's the flow, and really what are the benefits. We have a couple of very interesting case studies we would like to share with you. These are real-life case studies from some clients, some consultants, some labs that we would like to share with you. At the end, we have a few offers for you that as an appreciation for you joining us at this webinar that we would like to discuss with you, what we call for action. And as I mentioned, hopefully we will have time at the end to basically do some Q&A, question and answer. So again, let's get started. So our company has been in business since 2006. We have combined over 30 years of experience in this environment. We know the pain and the challenges of dealing with environmental reports and data collection and so on that we will discuss. And again, we are the leader in providing an electronic data collection system for environmental industry. We have worked with companies nationwide. We have strategic partners with labs across the U.S. So we do understand, again, their environment and also our clients' and customers' environment. And last but not least, what we're going to show you is our patent pending technology. What we offer is what's known as ECOC, which is the electronic chain of custody. And again, we will talk more about this. So let's go ahead and focus on some business challenges, what we hear from our customers and what we see out there. So the problem with traditional methods is that most environmental companies are using some kind of a paper and paper form to collect and share this information. So what they do is that, again, they collect this data, on a piece of paper. They give it to a project manager, which gives it to someone else. We enter this data, put it in a database, and then eventually they come back to an analysis environment. This process really has an issue, especially with the fact now that this work is really not done in one location. I mean, part of the work could be done in New York, part of it could be in New Jersey, and the other part could be in South Carolina or in Ohio, right? So the question is, how do I basically share this data? How do I collect this data? How do I collaborate and validate? And again, because of the compliance issues, it's extremely important to be able to do a good job on validation. And then last but not least is, how do I report and record it? Again, the traditional method of doing this on paper and putting this on a binder or a folder, unfortunately, is not working. So let's talk about some of the shortcomings with this traditional method. So let's look at the current landscape. So number one is data collection. So as I mentioned, the data collection today mostly still is done manually. Again, pen and paper. And the problem with that is inaccurate and error-prone and is inconsistent. I mean, we have seen forms which one consultant market as bedroom 1 and the other one puts it as BD1. So again, there's no consistency between the data collection, and sometimes it's hard to read it. And then the other issue with that is that it's not real time. Again, going back to my example of a job being done in, let's say, New Jersey, and then the other one is South Carolina, right? If I'm the project manager, I will not have access to that information in real time, right? So again, getting all this information aggregated and make sense of it is an issue. So again, data collection is one. The next one we want to talk about is collaboration and validation. So how do I have visibility into a big project, right? So as a project manager, I want to see what's going on across different jobs and have visibility into that. And again, pen and paper and not being real time is really hard to do that. The other one is that ineffective compliance program. And again, the issue is that it is slow. It doesn't have the right responsiveness we are looking for. It's delayed, and it's really what we call reactionary, right? It's not really being a proactive environment. It's a very reactionary environment. And then last but not least is that now that you have the data, you have stored it somewhere, hopefully you can collaborate. The current method of reporting and record keeping is a big issue. There's a lot of redundancy, double entry. It's very time consuming, it's expensive, and it's very difficult to share the knowledge, right? So you want all that to be done automatically for you, right? So, I mean, again, we see people, collect this data, put it together, and then they go to something like Excel or some other tools and try to generate reports and whatnot. Would it be nice if we can do all this automated? So again, based on our 30 years plus experience living in this environment, what we would like to do is to eliminate paper forms and automate the process. We see our client base is basically buried in an ocean of paper, right? So again, the problem with paper is not actionable. It's hard to do something about it. So what we would like to do is to use the latest technology, which is a mobile. Again, handheld mobile is very popular, and then be able to also use the cloud computing. And by cloud computing, I mean servers and storage and IT backup, all taken care of by somebody else versus your company, and really make this automated. So the nice thing about mobile, and we all know this, mobile is changing everything. I was at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas about a week ago, and it was amazing, the fast-growing number of apps, for example, on an iPhone. Just to give you some rough numbers, in 2009, which is not that many years ago, we had only 50,000 apps running on iPhone. Today, that number is over 750,000. So we see more and more people are using smartphone for a variety of applications. The latest report from Google said over 50% of the searches we are doing on Google, which is now done on your iPhone or your mobile phone. So again, we see even consumers are using mobile more and more as a part of their everyday business. And just give you some rough numbers, the latest number reported was 4 billion, that's with a B, mobile phones are out there, which roughly about 1 billion of them are smartphones. So very, very popular. And the latest report, I believe that came from IBM, is that next year, mobile internet is taking over your desktop internet. So again, people are doing more and more on mobile. It's becoming part of our extension of our life. We are using it for a variety of things. So here we are, and we are basically offering a solution, electronic change of custody, which allows you to accomplish, again, capturing this data, collaborating, and reporting using a mobile platform. So with that, what I would like to do now is ask Scott, which is our technical specialist, to give you an overview of an electronic data collection solution. and also give you a demonstration of how a solution like this could help you with your day-to-day activities. Scott?
Thank you, Nader, and good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is just go over what EDC is and how the EDC solution works. So what is EDC? What is electronic data capture? An EDC system is basically just a group of computerized tools and processes that are designed for the collection of field data in electronic form for use in project management. EDC replaces the traditional paper-based methodology to help streamline data collection and expedite the time it takes to complete projects. So what does the environmental reports solution have to do with EDC? Well, the ER solution has refined electronic data capture to work for the environmental professional. What the graphic on this slide illustrates is a digital workflow of the ER solution that enables you to connect to every aspect of an environmental project. Everything from project management to field collection. It allows you to talk directly with the lab and receive electronic results back from the lab. It allows for custom reporting on our online portal. And it enables you to share this data with your business partners, colleagues, and your clients as you see fit. So this new tool we're developing, this utilization of EDC, it's really bringing about the digital revolution in our industry, which is primarily still dependent on paper. There's these paper chain of custody forms that you have to submit to the lab while probably keeping paper copies for yourself, generating tables off of information written on paper, all this reporting. A lot of this is just rekeying the same information again and again with a lot of room for error. What we are trying to do with this solution is reduce the dependency on paper and eliminate some of these redundancies that are time consuming and error prone. Now, the key thing to note here is that the solution was designed by environmental professionals for environmental professionals. So we have experience in the field and we've been in your shoes. And this solution is a result of years of work in the industry. So if we go to the next slide, you can see that we have built out the solution components in a couple different ways. First, I want to talk about the collection unit, which is a mobile application designed to run on Apple products. Anything from an Apple iPad to an iPad mini, an iPod Touch, or even right off of your iPhone. And these apps are available on the App Store right now and downloadable for free. This is the tool we use to bring information and field data into our enclosed EDC system. And once again, the mobile app is a product of years of experience in the industry and was specifically designed to be intuitive and easy to use for environmental professionals. Collecting data, however, is it's just the first step in an EDC system. The real functionality of the system is all the things you can do with that data once it's been captured. And Environmental Reports has developed a web-based platform, namely its online portal, which you can see a couple of stills up on the slide, where you can fully take advantage of having this data in electronic form. Okay, so after the data has been collected using the mobile app, it is sent to the cloud, directly to the cloud. So that through any internet browser, you can access this data through the Environmental Reports online portal. From here, you can do a lot of things. You can see from a project manager standpoint what's going on in your business. You can submit things to the lab. You can download data or print out your chain of custodies. So if you're still keeping those paper backups, you can print them right off the portal, or you can download any of this data directly to your desktop. And there are also different levels of customization that add a lot of value to this project management tool. So we'll take a closer look at both the mobile app and the online portal during the demonstration portion of this webinar. But hopefully you are starting to understand how the ER solution represents EDC and how utilizing electronic data capture will reduce the dependency on paper and reduce the inefficiencies associated with using paper. With that said, let's take a look at some of the individual components of EDC. Typically, an ED system provides three main things: a GUI for data entry, a validation component, and online reporting and analysis tools. So the GUI, or the graphic user interface for data entry. An ED system begins with this GUI component that allows for data entry. In the environmental reports solution, this is represented by the mobile app and the different forms available for the app. We have built a system that allows you to easily and intuitively capture all of your data electronically without losing that familiar look of a paper form. The system is designed so you're not typing all of your data into the mobile device, which may take longer than just writing it down. But instead, you're selecting options from predefined drop-down menus. This method not only provides more consistency throughout a company, because all of your personnel are selecting options from the same drop-down menus, uh, but but because nothing is lost in the translation from paper to computer when building your tables and databases, it will result in less errors and higher quality reports. The validation component. So it's important while using any form of EDC that the information captured is as dependable, if not more dependable, than it would be if you wrote it down on paper. All paper chain of custodies need to be signed and dated by the inspector or the hygienist who has been performing the sampling. Instead of a handwritten signature, the mobile app features a secure login that prompts the user for a username and password that's associated with their online environmental reports account. And this acts as an electronic signature, so any job created with the mobile app will be automatically stamped with that user's account credentials. Not only that, but the app also captures background information. So in the background, it captures the time and the GPS location of when a specific record was entered into the handheld. This will provide your data and your forms with further validation and will increase your data defensibility. Online reporting and analysis. So a huge part of EDC is having the tools to analyze and report your data after it has been captured. The online portal provided by Environmental Reports allows you to do just that. First and foremost, the portal acts as a centralized hub where you can store and access all of your data on the cloud. It allows you to download your data in multiple formats, such as PDF and CSV files, which can be opened in Excel. And the data stored in the portal is not just limited to what you can collect on the mobile application. Any type of file can be uploaded to the portal, so any files you currently have on your current desktop. And once it's uploaded to the cloud, you'll have access, to these files from anywhere you have internet using the online portal. The portal also functions as a project management tool. As I mentioned earlier, data sent to the cloud will be immediately accessible on the portal. This means that your office administrators and project managers in different offices or different states will be able to see and review this data before the inspector leaves the job site. This ability to view documents in real time allows companies to take a more proactive approach to quality control, and it eliminates the delays in waiting for paper documents to reach the appropriate eyes. The fact is that the sooner a mistake or an error is realized, the quicker and the cheaper it is to fix that mistake or avoid it entirely. Another feature of the portal is the ability to selectively share project documents with your labs, your business partners, and even your clients. Labs can receive your electronic chain of custodies and return the results directly to your online portal. You can also upload and share final reports to your clients. And instead of emailing them report after report or perhaps sending them hard copies through the mail, they can just download these reports at their convenience. And the best part about this is when your clients start realizing the benefits that this system is providing them. For example, an employee from one of our client case studies that we'll go over later ran into a situation where his laptop was destroyed on an abatement job. But instead of having to hassle corporate and try and retrieve all his lost files, he was just able to pick up another laptop at a local electronics store and then re-download all of his reports that he needed from his online reportal. Which brings us to an important point. Everything that you store on your portal is backed up on the cloud. So if anything ever happens to your desktop or your office servers or any of the paper documentation you keep as backup, everything you have is backed up on the cloud. The last feature I wanted to touch on was custom reporting. Since all of your data will be stored electronically in one place, it gives environmental reports the opportunity to provide you with custom reports and tables that would meet your company's specifications. So instead of downloading this data and rearranging it in Excel, you'd just be able to click on a link that would provide you with the exact table you're looking for with all the information you want in the order that you want it. And this can be a real time saver for companies who can avoid time on the back end just typing things into Excel and rearranging, running things through macros to create specific tables for reports. So before we proceed to a short demo of this ER solution, I just want to reiterate that EDC, electronic data capture, can increase the data accuracy and decrease the time it takes to collect that data. A really efficient EDC system will streamline your business, and it'll enable you to take on more projects with the same amount of resources that you already have. And that will improve your bottom line. So next, we're going to do a very broad and general overview and demonstration of the mobile app and go over some stills from the online workspace. So let's walk through some of the screenshots of the mobile application. On the left, we have the account screen. So this is where you would log in, as I mentioned before, with your username and password to your ER account. And any forms you'd create while logged in as yourself would be automatically stamped with your user credentials. The right screen shows the creation of a new job. And I'll point out the job ID number on the top is basically a timestamp. It's assigned when you create a new job. This number, along with the username, kind of creates a unique identifier for every form you create on the mobile device. Next to inspection types, you'll see asbestos bulk. This is the form that's selected, and it's just one of several forms, stock forms, that come standard with the ER app. There's also a couple lead-based collection and microbiology collection forms on there, along with asbestos air sampling. But we can also provide custom forms for you. So any form that you currently fill out on paper in the field, environmental reports can recreate that form electronically to be used in association with their app. Here, the left screen shows a new record screen for capturing sample information. And once again, this form is an asbestos bulk survey form. And the form prompts you for all of the usual information recorded for individual asbestos samples. So you'll notice the sample ID at the top, level and room location describing where you're taking the sample, an HMID number or an HA or a HAT number, and then a further description of what kind of sample you're taking. And if you scroll down, there would be a couple more options such as color and additional notes that you wanted to add for this sample. You'll also notice a camera button on the bottom of the screen. Each form allows you to take pictures of individual samples and watermark those photos with specific information from the sample. And all the photos taken with the app are sent to the cloud with the job and accessible from the online portal. The buttons on the right side of the screen, still on the picture on the left though, those are the drop-down menus that contain predefined lists for the users to select from. If a certain option is not available in one of these drop-down menus, the user can simply add a new option to the list or just type it in the box for a temporary solution. The right-hand screen shows a list of all saved records. And I'm just showing you this because it's basically a summary screen, and it displays a lot of the relevant information for each record saved thus far throughout your survey. The screen allows the user to easily review all the samples taken to this point. You can scroll up and down with your fingers on the screen and just see how many samples you've taken and where you've taken them from. Finally, when you're finished, the user can simply send the job to the cloud using wireless internet or a 3G wireless signal. And of course, once the information's in the cloud, anyone with a user account from your company can log into the portal and view this information. You also have the ability to give the lab immediate access to any electronic COCs or other lab-based documents sent to the cloud just by changing some options on your mobile application. When sending information to the lab, they will receive a summary email of the ECOC and will be able to download a PDF version of the ECOC by logging into their lab portal. The PDF on the right side of this slide is an example of what an asbestos bulk chain of custody form would look like when downloaded and printed from the online portal. You'll notice the company name along with that job ID number I mentioned on the top, some contact info for the company in the lab, along with the analysis and the turnaround time, and a list of all the samples taken and the records recorded using the mobile application. Now we're going to take a look at some of the stills from the online portal. This first slide is a screenshot of the edit overview page for an electronic chain of custody. This is where an administrative person in the office or an inspector could review the chain of custody data before they give the lab access. And it doesn't have to be a chain of custody. Any form you create on the handheld will have some sort of screen like this where you'll be able to overview and edit it. So I don't know if you could see on the screen, but there's little pencils next to all of the data in that center grid there. You can click on any one of these grid options and start editing that. So if you needed to change the sample ID number for something, or you selected the wrong option somewhere and need to make a change, or you need to change the color of one of your materials, you can do all that from the workspace. You can also insert and delete rows. So if you maybe took some additional samples or forgot to enter some records before leaving the job site and then uploaded your information, you wouldn't have to re-enter that information into the handheld and then resend it to the cloud. It's already up here. You can just make the changes while it's up here and then save the data. From the Actions menu in the upper right corner, you can also download this information. As I said before, it's available as a PDF, which we saw in the previous slide, and as a CSV, which is a table openable that is able to be opened with Excel. And you can also give the lab direct access from here. So by clicking on that Viewable by Lab link, that red X will turn to a green check mark, and the lab will have access on their lab portal. The online portal also provides users with various ways to view project information. So the user interface is very easy to interact with and will help you manage your projects and employees in a more efficient manner. The example we have on screen is of a project view with multiple locations. So if you have a large project with a lot of buildings or a lot of different addresses, that's what this would represent. There are a bunch of milestones, which are the columns with the check marks in them. So these are created by the user and just represent different documents that you can upload to these specific locations. And it just shows you the progress of your day-to-day operations as you progress through these different projects and locations. It also gives you an easy way to access your documents. So a lot of these check marks represent documents. And instead of drilling down to the exact location and finding the document like you would in specific folders on your computer, you can see all these check marks at once. And if you just click on one of them, it's going to take you to that specific document or prompt you to download that document that the check mark is associated with. and the dashboard page. So upon logging into the online portal, the user encounters its dashboard page. From here, you can do a lot of things. You can view activity that has taken place on the portal. So if you notice at the bottom of the screen, there's an activity log, and it just tells you what's been done on the portal recently and the user who is logged in, so who was doing these actions. You can also see user-specific tasks that you have assigned or have been assigned to you. So at the top, you have pending tasks, and it's kind of used as a way to communicate with your employees. So as a centralized location where you can log in and see different tasks that have been assigned to you or that have been completed, throughout the day, the week, or the month. It also reminds you when specific documents are about to expire. So if you upload documents such as a license of some sort, and upload it with an expiration date, the dashboard will remind you when this document is about to expire. So if you need to renew anything, it's just it acts as a reminder. The dashboard is basically, a one-stop shop for tracking and managing everything that goes on, during the day-to-day operations of your business. And if you don't already have something like this in place where all your employees have access to it, they can all go here for specific information, tasks, and/or have access to all of the documents that they need on a day-to-day basis. This which is included with the Environmental Reports Online portal could be a pretty great value to you. So in summary, we have a pretty proven solution with the environmental reports solution. As I tried to drill home, it has been designed by environmental professionals, so we know how it works in the field. It's been used successfully for several years now. Over 150,000 samples have been processed using this mobile application, the online portal, and the lab portal via partnered environmental reports labs. And it's very user friendly. It's very intuitive for the environmental professional. And finally, we have a pretty established and successful client base that we've built up over the past several years. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to Nader, who's going to talk about some of the case studies we put together and some of the benefits of our solution. Nader?
Thank you so much, Scott. Very powerful solution. Definitely, we saw how data is easily collected, how as a project manager I can collaborate and validate data, and last but not least, the reporting and record keeping makes it very simple. So thank you so much. What I would like to do next is actually share with you some of our typical case studies of how our clients have been using this solution and what type of benefits they have been able to receive. So the first company I'm going to talk about is a consultant. This consultant had to do a very large commercial project for a multinational enterprise. And this particular customer was requesting all this data to be captured electronically and be entered in a database with the search capability. Again, this particular customer asked this consultant, it's not good enough for you to give me paper reports. We need to be able to archive this, and we need to be able to search it for future purposes. So they use our solution here, the environmental solution. They captured the data. They were able to share this among their group across the U.S. to collect this data, automatically store it in a database, which is actually stored in a cloud. And this really helped them to, number one, make them more efficient. Again, they reduced the use of paper substantially in this project, met the client's requirements. We had a review with this client as well as the consultant where they were extremely happy that they can now look at this data and search it basically using a cloud-based solution. So they could be in any of their office as long as they have access to a web-based browser. They can look at this data anytime, anywhere, which was very useful for them. And last but not least, this customer needs to renew this inspection every 2 or 3 years. So again, the beauty of having this on an electronic database is that this consultant can go back and start the job, not from the scratch, but on top of what's already been captured and stored in the system. So again, a very successful engagement. Let's look at the next case study here. Is a large Fortune 500 company. They are in a full service residential property management. And really their challenge is that they are dealing with a very large number of properties, over 20,000 properties nationwide. And they were looking for an intuitive solution which really helps them with managing their environmental compliance. Again, if you look at the size of this project, this is clearly something you do not want to do with pen and paper, folders, and binders, right? So we went in there, and again, they were able to use and utilize our solution and environmental reports. Not only they improved their quality, but also their operations was really now under control, which was very beneficial to them. They could really have what I call actionable information. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it's very hard to make action on paper, right? The nice thing having this on an electronic format is that the system will come back, and this allows the project manager to really have an informed decision and help them at the bottom really with their streamline their processes and communication and collaboration. Again, they have a very large footprint here, and this solution allows them a faster way to communicate and collaborate among all the parties involved. So when we went back and we did a survey not long ago, we went back to our customer base and we said, give us some of the benefits, hard benefits that you have received from the EDC, electronic data collection. And most of them say, you know what, this is really helping me, roughly about 10 to 15% just on the redundancy itself. The other one was that the credibility and compliance. They said, this helps me over 50% or above, because there's really an electronic record. There's a system of record I can go back to very easily and show that we did the job and what was the report and so on, right? So again, that was huge for them. Operation efficiency, 20%, which was again a large number. And also there are a bunch of what I call soft benefits. Searchable archives. I don't have to go through folders and binders trying to find the right piece of information. It's very easy for me to search for it. Again, help my efficiency and data quality. The other one which we heard over and over is that, people change jobs. They either move on or there's a turnover. And you know what? I don't have to start from scratch. Having this data available electronically really helped me with a smooth transition when my team is leaving the company, right? So again, that was very valuable to them. And the other one is differentiated marketplace. Again, we see both from the clients as well as the labs, the one who provide this information or can accept this information electronically is really a differentiator versus the ones which are still doing it the old-fashioned way, only with paper and binders. And of course, at the bottom line is that it's really increasing your revenue. If I can do more jobs faster, cheaper, guess what? It's going to help my revenue at the end of the day. And we're all in business of making money, right? So that was very valuable to our client base. And again, what our customer told us is that, I love this solution because it's cloud-based. Again, cloud-based, what it means is that us at Environmental Report, we deal with all the software, with all the databases, with the 24/7 IT support, backup, and so on. Okay, this is, to build a solution like this from scratch could be millions of dollars, right? So again, being able to have no software, no hardware, and no IT, it's very important for our customer base. We will take care of all that for you. All you need, again, is a mobile device to be able to capture the data, and an ordinary web browser very similar to, the way you log in into your Google account for search or Yahoo account or whatnot. That's all you need. You need a right username, password, and you can access this data basically from anywhere all the time. Of course, you need to have the right privileges in order to do that. So again, those are some of the benefits that our customer receives. So what I would like to do next, again, as an appreciation for you joining our webinar this morning, we have a couple of offering that we would like to offer to you today. So let me go over that list. All right. So again, I hope you heard our message loud and clear, is that doing this the old-fashioned way does not work, and it has many shortcomings. So we are encouraging you to look at this solution. Which again leverages both mobile and cloud computing to make you more efficient and hopefully make you happier customers and higher revenue. So number one is that we understand everybody's environment is different, right? So one size doesn't fit all. So what we are offering, again, free of charge for you who have attended this webinar, is what we call a free needs assessment. What we will do, we will get on the phone with you and your team, understand your environment, what are your challenges, and then we will come back and we will tell you this is how environmental report can help you to become more effective and efficient. Again, as a part of that, if you want to go more detail on a demonstration of the product and what I call the what-if analysis, we'll be more that as well to do that with your team there. So the other thing we offer today for those of you who attended our webinar is what we call a free 30-day trial. Again, you can use the system, and you will see how simple and intuitive it is. One of the questions we usually get is that, well, how about training and so on? Again, we offer training over the web, so very simple, very intuitive. If you can point and click, you can use this solution, very straightforward. All right, so at this time, what I would like to do on the remaining time that we have, try to answer some of the questions. So Scott, I'm going to try the first one here. Maybe you can help with this one. So the question is, do I need to be connected to internet or cell line to work with the product? So basically the question is, do I need to be connected, all the time to Ethernet or phone, because I may be in an area where I do not have access to Ethernet nor a cell line? Can you talk about that, and can you give some examples, please?
Sure. The quick answer to that is no. You do not need to be connected to a cell line or internet access while using the product. The product is standalone, and we realize that if you're out in the field in the middle of nowhere, or you're in a warehouse with concrete walls, you're not going to have pretty good reception. So the only time you need to be connected to the internet is when you're logging in as a new user. If you're already logged in, this doesn't matter. And you're trying to sync with your online workspace, or at the end of the day when you're trying to send the job directly to the cloud. Other than that, the app acts as a standalone app, and you can use it, without any sort of wireless signal.
Excellent, thank you. So again, they can store the data, and then when the Ethernet comes back up or they get connected, automatically syncs up, then you're saying. Great.
Correct.
All right, next one, I can answer this one. What do you mean by cloud computing? Again, this cloud computing is a new buzzword. We hear it all the time now. And what does that really mean? So what it means is that you as a user, again, do not have to worry about the software. What software do I need to buy? Which databases do I need to deal with? Which reporting package do I need to deal with? So that's the first piece. The second one is that servers and the hardware, right? I mean, do I need to buy a Dell computer or HP computer? And, how do I back it up? And which databases should I use? Microsoft database or Oracle database? You don't have to worry about all that. And then last but not least is what we call IT support. IT support, again, is the administrative support to maintain the software and the hardware and basically make sure it's running 24/7, 365 days a year, right? So this is what's called the cloud computing. It's all done for you in the cloud, right? So it's outside of your four walls, and it's done by somebody else. Again, the good examples of the cloud, again, is a Google search. I mean, when I use an ordinary web browser, I can go in and type in my whatever information, and Google comes back with definitions for me, right? If you happen to have an email on Yahoo or Gmail, which is from Google, is again another example of cloud-based computing, is that where those companies are taking care of all the software, hardware, and so on, and all I do is that I get access to that information, right? Again, then another nice thing about the cloud-based solution is that you pay as you go. So you don't need, again, to buy and invest big capital. In some cases, it could be millions of dollars. If you look at some of these database prices, you're talking about $200,000 plus just on the database itself. So this is, again, all done by us. It's all done on the cloud. And again, all you need is the right password and right privileges, and of course, an ordinary web browser such as Mozilla or Internet Explorer or Chrome or whatever you're using to be able to access that information. Scott, the other question here maybe you can answer is what type of forms and or services does your product handle?
Could you be a little more specific?
Well, that's all it says, unfortunately, yeah. So maybe you can give an example what we have done with asbestos or other stuff. Maybe that will give an overview.
As far as forms,
other forms we have worked with. Yes, sir.
Forms for the app, we can customize and recreate any form that you currently use. So, if you're just doing a visual inspection, or you just have a bunch of check marks or specific line items that you need, to check as you're out in the field, we can basically take any form you use in the field and customize that and replicate it as an electronic form that's usable with our application. Currently, as stock forms, we have asbestos bulk, we have asbestos air sampling, lead chip. We've got some mold collection and microbiology forms in there. But we've also created different forms for other clients, such as visual inspection forms and things of that nature.
I see. I have one other question here, Scott, that will need your help is, can I view this information from my computer versus mobile? So can you talk about, again, going back to my comment about an ordinary web browser, what are the information that they can look at and also they can share with their clients?
Right. Excuse me. So all of the files and the data sent to the cloud are going to be available on your online portal, which is using your internet browser. So all the jobs that start with forms need to be created on the mobile application. But once it's off the mobile app, all of that information is available online. Anything you upload to the cloud, such as client reports or any documents you want to store there just for your personal or your business use, are going to be available on the internet for web browser viewing. And any of those documents can be shared with your employees, or some of your clients or the lab. So basically, anything that you can upload to the cloud is going to be available on that online browser.
Excellent. Do you have any other questions on your side, Scott?
I don't. I can just check. I don't see any questions here, Nader.
Okay, very good. So Again, I want to thank all of you for joining us today. We are very excited about the benefits of this solution and what our client base have been able to accomplish with environmental reports. And we will encourage you to, at the end of this webinar, you will get a survey. And one of the questions is that if you have any other questions or any recommendations, or you would like to see a detailed demo and discussion, please send us an email. Again, I wanted to thank everybody for your time and have a great day and hope to talk to all of you soon. Thank you, Scott, and goodbye.